Whispers of 1001 Nights, Episode 11, The Third Voyage of Sinbad the Sailor, Scheherazada's Whisper. O king, though Sinbad had twice sworn never to return to the sea, fate would not allow his heart to rest, for the sea calls strongest to those who try hardest to silence it. Tonight I tell you of Sinbad's third voyage, one of marvels and monstrous perils, the restless spirit. Though Sinbad had sworn never to voyage again, the comforts of Baghdad soon weighed heavy upon him. Gold fades, feasts grow dull, but the sea never tires, he thought. And so once more he joined a caravan of merchants. Together they stocked a grand vessel with goods of every kind. Silks from Persia, spices from India, and jewels from distant lands. The call of the sea filled his dreams with restless waves until the day he set sail once more, his heart both eager and fearful. The island of the dwarves. After weeks of calm seas, they landed upon an island lush with palms and rivers of sweet water. But the peace was an illusion. From the forest emerged a multitude of tiny men, no taller than a child's arm, their eyes glittering with cunning. Though small, they were countless. With ropes woven of grass, they bound the sailors and carried them like prey. They were led through tangled jungle until they reached a towering fortress of stone. Within its shadow, the dwarves vanished, leaving Sinbad and his companions to their fate. The monstrous feast. The gates creaked open, and from their darkness emerged a giant with one blazing red eye, his teeth sharp as daggers. The smell of smoke and old blood filled the air. With a roar, he seized one sailor, skewered him upon a spit, and roasted him over a fire. The others trembled, certain they would be next. Sinbad whispered, "Strength cannot save us. We must use our wits." The blazing escape. That night when the giant slumbered, Sinbad and his men sharpened two great stakes of iron. They heated them in the flames until they glowed white-hot. Then with all their might, thrust them into the monster's single eye. The beast awoke with a scream that shook the heavens. In blind fury, he clawed at the walls, smashing stone and splintering wood. Amidst the chaos, Sinbad cut the bonds of his fellows. Together they fled into the night, hearts pounding. Escape on the rafts. They stumbled to the shore and lashed logs into rafts. With desperate haste, they pushed into the sea. Behind them, the blinded giant groped along the cliffs, hurling boulders that thundered into the waves. Some rafts shattered, dragging men beneath. Others survived, carrying Sinbad and a few survivors into the open waters. The sea of winged serpents. But safety was short-lived. From the skies descended winged serpents, their scales flashing in the sun, their wings beating like storms. They plucked sailors from the rafts, carrying them screaming into the clouds. The sea churned with terror. Sinbad, clinging to driftwood, cried out for mercy. By fortune or fate, the serpents left him, and he drifted for days, the sun scorching his skin and thirst tormenting his throat. The Diamond Valley. At last, the waves cast him into a valley glittering with diamonds. The ground shone like stars fallen to earth, but among the jewels slithered serpents vast as towers, their eyes cold and cruel. Each night they emerged to hunt, devouring any living thing. Sinbad remembered the merchants' tales, how traders cast chunks of meat into the valley, and eagles carried the flesh, and the diamonds stuck to it, back to their nests. With desperate cunning, he bound himself to a piece of meat. An eagle, mighty and fierce, seized the meat in its talons and bore him high into the sky. At last it dropped him upon a cliff, where astonished merchants waited. They freed him, marveling at his survival. Fortune restored. Sinbad shared the jewels he had gathered with the merchants, who welcomed him into their caravan. Together they crossed deserts and seas, until once more he reached the gates of Baghdad. His friends rejoiced. The poor received alms, and Sinbad gave thanks to the Almighty for his deliverance. Scheherazada's whisper. And so ended Sinbad's third voyage, marked by giants, serpents, and treasures glittering in the dark. Sleep now, O dreamer, for in your dreams too may you discover a diamond valley, if only you are bold enough to seek it